In Unit 3, Learning Set 1, for the second video, we are going to learn about what happens if you make only minimum payments on an installment plan, and also about your credit score. So in this first example, Carpet King is trying to increase its sales. So they instituted a new promotion. All purchases can be paid on the installment plan with no interest as long as the total is paid in full within 6 months. You have to be careful with these type of plans and make sure that you can stick to paying those on time. A lot of them in the small fine print that a lot of people don't read will tell you if you default and don't pay the minimum payment on time each month, that you will have to pay interest and you will have to pay back interest on the months you've already paid. So these types of plans, you need to make sure you're always careful to pay on time and that you meet what's set forth as the rules for this. So in this case, it has to be paid in full within 6 months. So there is a $20 minimum monthly payment required. If the Schuster family buys carpeting for $2,134 and makes only the minimum payment for 5 months, how much will they have to pay in the 6th month? So basically, in this problem, you're only paying the minimum amount. And according to what it states in the promotion, it has to be paid full within 6 months. If you don't meet that, most likely you will have to pay interest on all the past months and from there forward. And a lot of times, interest rates on these types of situations are very high, often in the high teens and early, 20% area. So you don't want to have to do that. So 5 months of payments would be 5 times $20, which is $100. So that's when you're only paying the $20 minimum for the first 5 months. And then we would need to take our cost, which is $2,134, subtract the amount that we've already paid for the first 5 months, which is $100, to determine what amount we have to pay in that last month to meet the conditions for their promotion. In this case, that would be $2,034. So they would have to pay that $2,034 in full amount in the 6th month to meet the conditions of the promotion and not have to pay interest. In this next example, Mike has a credit rating of 720. Tyler has a credit rating of 560. Mike and Tyler apply for identical loans from Park Bank. Mike is approved for a loan at 5.2% interest, and Tyler is approved for a loan that charged 3 percentage points higher because of his inferior credit rating. What interest rate is Tyler charged? So what they're talking about here is your credit score is also called your FICO score, and that is a score created by Fair Isaac Corporation that lenders use to, along with other details on your credit, to assess the credit risk and determine whether or not they should extend credit to you. And it also determines, as you see it in this example, that if your credit rating is low, then oftentimes they charge you a higher interest rate. So the better credit rating you have, the better the deals and the more likely you are going to be approved for a loan. One thing you need to know is you do need to work on your credit rating right now. You probably don't have any if you don't have a credit card in your name, which most students don't. If they do, it's attached to their parents. So for you to get a credit rating, you should start with something like getting a store credit card. You're more likely to get that than you are a regular Visa or MasterCard. Another option is often banks have credit cards that you can get. So, and they would start with a minimum, a low balance amount that you could have. So let's figure out what interest rate Tyler is going to be charged. So Tyler is taking Mike's 5.2% interest, and he's charged 3 percentage points higher. So that means we need to add the 3% to that 5.2. So his interest rate is 8.2%. This may not seem big, but I'm going to show you an example of a $3,000 loan paid on over 3 years, and what a difference 5.2% can have from 8.2%. So just looking at the interest, and we're going to use simple interest for this one. Mike, his simple interest would be the $3,000 loan times the 0.052 times 3, and his interest would be $468 that he would have to pay. Whereas Tyler, his interest would calculate at 3,000 times 0.082 as the rate times 3. He would have to pay $738. And if you took and you subtracted those two, okay, that means Tyler is paying $270 more in interest because of the higher rate, which was caused by his low credit score.